That's it for me. I'm out. I'm leaving. I can't do this right now. What the is that? Oh my God.
I want to go home now. Did it move? Yes.
From Bigfoot sightings in Alabama to Bigfoot hunters mysteriously vanishing in California, these encounters will leave you shocked. In March 2025, a video was uploaded in the subreddit Bigfoot. According to the post, it was some strange noise caught in southeast Alabama. This is what the video showed. A faint scream was heard towards the start and then towards the end of the video. The user had no idea what it was, therefore it was uploaded, and people came up with multiple theories. As someone from southeast Alabama and have spent many years in the woods, it honestly sounds like a mule, but I could be wrong. If it's around a cattle field, then there's a good chance this could be right. But was it really just a mule or cattle? Because the uploader obviously did not believe it, and neither did many others. And if we go back a couple of years to 2017, another similar thing happened. People were already talking about odd scat on the path and trash being rummaged through late at night. And then one local claimed that from his kitchen window, he saw a tall, furry figure in his yard at night. When he stepped outside, it leapt over his fence and ran toward the trailhead. A game cam was later set up, and the first photos showed something was definitely there. Something leaving scat, digging through garbage, and roaming the neighborhood after dark. Even though not too clear, the images did show a bipedal creature moving behind the bushes. And if we head back to 2013, a truck driver claimed he saw something strange while driving from Cherokee to Decatur, Alabama. He says a large, hairy figure ran out of the woods, crossing the highway in under 10 seconds. Another truck hit it in the hip, sending it spinning to the shoulder. When the driver turned around to look, it wasn't dead, but it was angry. He described it as around 6 feet tall, muscular, covered in hair, and with long arms and human-like legs, not like any bear he'd ever seen. He thought about taking a picture, but decided against it, worried the creature might attack. To this day, he's not sure if it was Bigfoot, but it left him shaken. Fast forward to July 2025, another post was made. This time, the story went back to 2008, when a driver heading south on I-65 near Flomaton spotted what he thought was a bear over a deer carcass. But as it stood and twisted the deer's leg off with its hands, he realized it wasn't a bear. Its face was wolf-like, its eyes locked with his, and it even turned its upper body at the waist. Something bears simply can't do. After a tense moment, the creature stepped away and leapt over a fence into the dark, leaving behind more questions than answers. And maybe that's where the mystery gets deeper, because Alabama has its own long-standing cryptid legend. Locals call it the White Thing, described as a massive, white-furred humanoid with red eyes, standing around 8 feet tall. It's been seen across Morgan, Etowah, and Jefferson counties since at least the 1940s. Some say it looks more like a giant cat, a bear, or even a wolf, while others insist it's a Sasquatch-type creature, just with pale fur. Then came 1971, when many people reported they saw Bigfoot in the hills of North Alabama. Calls and reports were made within just a few months of one another. There have been claims since then as well, but not like the amount people saw in 1971. However, the most recent reported sighting before all these new stories came in 2002, when a camper in Guntersville State Park claimed they saw what looked like a white tiger eating a deer. But for decades before that, the white thing had been part of Alabama's cryptid history, in local news reports, in campfire stories, and in the memories of those who say they've seen it. So, while the evidence remains unclear, the strange noises, the roadside encounters, and the legend stretching back generations suggest that something in these woods has been watching, moving, and leaving its mark for far longer than anyone realizes. In April 2025, a video was uploaded with the caption, "Color graded." It appeared to be a color graded version of some other video. This is what it showed. A figure appeared on the screen for a split second, and in that brief moment, it looked like it was running, and the movements looked way too fast for a human being. With a little bit of research, I was able to find the real video, which was recorded by a guy on YouTube named Bilbo Swaggins. This was one of the first videos he had uploaded, and it was recorded in Massachusetts. The video goes like this. And this one too hardly showed the creature for more than a couple of seconds before it disappeared completely behind the trees. Now, like all others, this video gathered some mixed reactions. New one for me, it's the right color, seems to be the right shape, could be legit. For others, it was a hoax as always. But this wasn't it for Massachusetts. Because in 2020, some large footprints in the snow on the edge of the Bridgewater Triangle in Massachusetts were captured. The comparison made it clear that whoever those prints belonged to definitely wasn't a human, and according to the uploader, the footprints eventually led to the forest. And then, just months apart in 2020, a similar encounter was recorded by another YouTuber. However, this time, whatever it was in the wild wasn't running away. Instead, it was doing this.
That's it for me. I'm out. I'm leaving. I can't do this right now.
Now, the guy who uploaded this had been hearing strange sounds in the woods continuously. It was towards the end of his trip that he recorded this. However, he did not realize someone was following him until later when he reviewed the footage. Now, this might not look like a typical Bigfoot, but the situation sure was scary. Was that a man? Was it something else? Where did it vanish? Why was it following the man around? Hundreds of questions with no answers. These modern accounts fit into a much older pattern. Massachusetts has one of the earliest recorded Bigfoot stories in the country. The Barrington Beast of 1765, described as a bear-sized creature with a gorilla-like face, it was reportedly captured by explorers and taken to Cambridge for study, only to escape and vanish back into the wilderness. Through the late 1800s, towns like North Adams and Williamstown had their own run-ins, from wild men leaping fences to red-furred creatures spotted by hunters. And in more recent years, Leominster State Forest, nicknamed Monsterland, has become a hotspot. Author and researcher Ronnie LeBlanc has spent decades investigating strange sounds, moving trees, and even casting six-toed footprints there. He believes the sightings might be connected to something beyond our understanding, possibly even UFOs. Whether you believe that or not, Massachusetts' history with this mystery stretches from colonial times to viral videos. No matter the century, the stories keep surfacing, and they all seem to lead back into the same dark forests, where the trail always goes cold. In December 2024, a Reddit post was made, a story which went like this. My uncle just got back from an elk hunting trip near Ukiah, Oregon. He says that one night he was headed back to camp in the dark when a 25-pound rock was thrown at him, almost hitting his head. Getting a heavy rock thrown towards a person is already a terrifying thing, but this wasn't the most terrifying part, because surviving the night, when the man went back to the place to see what was going on, he found this. Huge footprints in the mud along with very small deer ones. It appeared as if whatever the creature was, it was following a deer. According to the man who uploaded it, he believed it was a Bigfoot, since there was no way a man could leave this deep kind of footprint. Many believed it, many denied it, but there was one fact which gave this post good credibility. The fact that it was taken in Oregon, one of the hubs of Bigfoot, the very same place the 2008 Mackenzie River Bigfoot was recorded. And then in 2003, another Redditor had a similar encounter, except it had the whole creature captured on camera. Even though the picture was quite blurry, it was clear that a huge dark figure was staring straight at whoever was capturing him. And the evidence in Oregon just never ends, like in 2020, when a hiker found these footprints in the mud. Of course, not everyone believes it. Many come in saying, "No, it's too blurry. No, it's too far." Or, "No, it's too small." And for people who think this is just a recent internet thing, it's not. Bigfoot sightings in Oregon go back more than a century. The earliest record comes from 1904, when settlers in the Sixes River area claimed they saw a hairy wild man wandering in the woods. After that, miners, hunters, and travelers kept reporting similar encounters, with some even saying they'd been attacked by giant apes. One of the most famous was in 1924 near Mount St. Helens, where a group of miners claimed they were ambushed by massive creatures throwing rocks at their cabin all night. Local Native American tribes have their own stories too. Tales of wild men and stick Indians who could whistle to confuse travelers, steal salmon, and leave behind massive tracks. For them, these weren't just scary creatures. They were beings with deep cultural meaning and spiritual connections to the land. Over the years, sightings spread across Oregon, with people describing the same thing. Huge hair-covered ape-like beings up to 8 feet tall, walking on 2 legs, leaving massive footprints in the dirt or snow. Some researchers, like Jeff Meldrum from Idaho State University and Grover Krantz from Washington State, have even studied footprints and the famous 1967 Bigfoot film from Northern California's Klamath Mountains. They claim the details were too real to be fake, but of course, most scientists still call it all a hoax or misidentification. Still, Bigfoot has become part of Oregon's identity. From century-old sightings by settlers and miners, to Native American legends, to blurry photos, massive footprints, and stories passed down through generations, it's always been there. Researchers have studied the prints, skeptics have dismissed them, and the creature has even been turned into mascots, books, TV shows, and festivals. And yet, despite all that, there's still no proper evidence. No clear photo, no body, no undeniable proof. But when you put together the history, the eyewitness accounts, the tracks, the smells, the sounds, and the fact that Oregon is one of Bigfoot's biggest hotspots, it all seems to point to only one possibility: that something is out there. In July, Independence Day weekend to be exact, a video surfaced online showing something that made jaws drop. Take a look. What it showed was a figure emerging from behind a rock, briefly revealing a dark, hulking silhouette walking straight on his feet. At first glance, it seems to move too deliberately to be just a bear or deer, but this wasn't it, because the very next moment we see this. As two heads appear, one small one cradles in the big one's arms, like a very, very odd family scene unfolding in the wilderness. Now, many of course claimed it straight as a hoax. I think that is obviously someone dressed up pretending. Some declared it the most compelling footage since Patterson-Gimlin. Others were quick to dismiss it as a hoax. Thinker Thunker, known for detailed video breakdowns, analyzed the stride mechanics, noting the trailing leg bends at a sharper angle than a human's, 73 degrees compared to the typical 52. In his view, this was consistent with the so-called compliant gait, often attributed to Sasquatch. Skeptics countered that a hoaxer could mimic this by walking with bent knees. Bigfoot Tony, another well-known analyst, pointed out subtle camera movements and debated whether the infant showed any independent motion. His conclusion leaned toward clever staging rather than a genuine creature. The video's biggest problem? Complete anonymity. The location is unknown, the filmer unnamed, and without a reference point for scale, size estimates are impossible. A stark contrast to Bluff Creek, where the Patterson-Gimlin film could be measured and analyzed in detail. Whether an elaborate fake or an unexplainable glimpse into a hidden world, the Independence Day Bigfoot remains one of the most hotly debated pieces of recent Sasquatch footage. And in a place like the Sierra Nevada, with its long, strange history, maybe that's exactly how the legend is meant to survive. It was the night of the 6th of August, 2025, when a man who had decided to camp in the wild for some peace in Sierra Nevada recorded this. The 6-second video starts off with the camper randomly recording and ends up with two glowing eyes staring right at him. The video cuts off right there. Whether he stayed calm or left immediately, it is not known. When pointed out towards an animal, this is what he had to say. For a raccoon, coyote, fox, or black bear out in more remote areas seems pretty bold. So if not a raccoon or any other animal, then what was it? While looking for answers to these questions, I came upon another sighting in the same area. A man walking his dogs through the snow-covered Sierra Nevada mountains captured something strange in the distance. It was a figure sprinting across the ridge, far from where anyone would expect a human to be. According to the man who recorded it, he was simply filming his dogs playing in the snow when movement caught his eye on the far left side of the frame. Then there's also Claudia Ackley. The story of Claudia Ackley also takes us deep into the Sierra shadows of California. In 2017, Claudia claimed she and her daughters encountered a Sasquatch near Big Bear, California.
In the shoulder?
Yeah.
Did it move?
Yes.
After the sighting, she returned to the spot and discovered two massive footprints, a 22-inch and a 13-inch print, each with 5 distinct toes. Obsessed, she cast molds, gathered stories from locals, and even launched a support group for those traumatized by similar experiences. In 2018, she took an unprecedented step. She sued the California Department of Fish and Wildlife to force them to take Bigfoot reports seriously, rather than brushing them off as bears. In video footage of the incident, she insisted, "I swear to God, on my life, we ran into a Sasquatch," but authorities ultimately ruled it a bear, and her lawsuit was dismissed. Then, in July 2023, the community was stunned. Claudia was found dead at her home in Tennessee at just 51 years old. Her partner said the cause was likely a heart attack and stressed there was nothing suspicious, just a tragic end to someone driven by conviction. These Sierra Nevada sightings, from glowing eyes to a figure sprinting through snow, are just the latest threads in a story stretching back decades. This region has long been Sierra Sasquatch country, where whispers of the unknown echo through silent forests and hidden trails. California's Sasquatch lore didn't begin here, though. It surged into public consciousness in 1958, when massive, unexplained footprints were found in Humboldt County. Since then, reports have traveled south through redwoods and into the Sierras. Fleeting shapes, strange howls, and enormous tracks found miles from any road. Claudia Ackley's story is part of that continuum. In Big Bear, she saw something she couldn't ignore. She cast the prints, filed a lawsuit to force official recognition, and built a community for fellow believers. Her efforts turned a personal encounter into public advocacy, keeping the mystery alive. From ancient legend to modern action, this blend of nature, myth, and determination endures. Whether it's eyes in the dark, a shadow in the snow, or footprints preserved in plaster, the Sierra's mystery refuses to fade. What looked like a figure was standing right in the middle of the woods. However, according to the uploader, the spot where the figure stood had a ditch right below it, meaning it would have to be very tall to be visible from that height. The guy ran to his house as soon as he got a chance, not even checking back again. People in the comments speculated that it could be an owl or something else, but no one was ever sure. A man in Japan was traveling on a train when he noticed 2 passengers having a bit of an argument along the way. So, like most people these days, he started recording. However, what he didn't notice until later was that it wasn't just the argument he was capturing on camera. What appeared to be luggage in the upper compartment soon had a face staring into the camera for a while before disappearing again. While most people in the comments claimed not to sense any negative energy from whatever was in the train, others found it hard to believe what they were seeing. On June 22, 2024, a user on TikTok uploaded a video showing his experience with the Randonautica app, which has successfully terrified hundreds of people in the past. So, Randonautica was created to give its users random locations, and 9 out of 10 times, they end up seeing something creepy. The same thing happened to this man, who was taken somewhere in McAllen, Texas.
The road area, maybe we'll see them. Oh shit, what the fuck?
Oh, there's someone running? No.
Fuck you, Lori, am I fucking window for?
What is that though? What is that? Why is someone running? No, lower it down, lower it down. You're dumb as fuck. I lower my fucking window. You can see. What the fuck?
The app first led them into an empty field, and as they followed the pin location to a dead end, they saw someone running around in pitch darkness. Excited and scared, they backed away as soon as they could, not knowing what they had just experienced. And it gets even creepier when we slow it down and zoom in, because whoever that was had glowing eyes and then disappeared mid-air like it was never there. Even though this wasn't the first time these guys had used the app, another time, just a month later, they were taken to another weird place. It was an abandoned spot, with things left behind as if people had been forced out of the area. The app and its ways remain mysterious, and people just keep finding weird, disturbing things without any explanation. A guy named Ibrahim on Instagram is known for visiting terrifying locations somewhere in the Middle East. While most of his videos are just normal, one gained a lot of attention and terrified thousands of people who watched it online. What appeared to be a reopened grave had two men sitting on the edges, and beneath the stone was a hand desperately clutching onto it, as if the creature was trying to get out. Who or what the creature was, no one knew, as Ibrahim never gave any updates on this particular situation. This next video comes from a Mexican TikToker named Jesus Gamboa. He worked as a trucker for an undisclosed company, and this video showed him walking around his truck. At first, it seemed like nothing wrong could possibly happen here, but that couldn't be further from the truth. This is what happened when he slowly walked around the perimeter of the truck. If you look carefully enough, you should be able to make out what appeared to be some sort of strange entity, creepily lurking behind the wheel of his truck. It peeked out twice before he, terrified, ended the clip. Sadly, there isn't any context provided with the video, and there haven't been any updates posted, so we will unfortunately likely never know what else happened after this. In December 2024, a man started posting videos on YouTube where he claimed his house was haunted. Therefore, he decided to film it all. In the very first video he posted, he was seen playing around with his dogs and just goofing around. He then heads off toward his room to get them each a treat, but this is where things take a seriously bizarre turn.
Sit. Good girls. Pow. Pow. Whatever. Let me get you a treat. Alright, wait. There it is.
One of the drawers in the bedroom began to open all by itself, much to his understandable confusion. Another video posted to his channel shows something very similar happening. Take a look. The man can be seen walking up the staircase when, out of nowhere, the door behind him closes. It also doesn't seem like there would be a window nearby that could have caused this to happen. A third video, posted on January 21st, 2025, showed him working from home. He said he was hearing things inside the house and decided to set up his camera to see if he could capture any of these noises on film. What happened was quite shocking.
Hello?
Not just doors were opening and closing on their own, things were falling here and there as well. With the last video posted on March 11th, 2025, the same things kept happening, and the man just said that all this started when he moved into the apartment. So what do you guys make of these 3 videos? Do you think this man really lives in a haunted house? This next video is a pretty mysterious one with no context given. The video in question was uploaded all the way back in May of 2008 by a Russian YouTuber who was seemingly awoken in the middle of the night and decided to pull out a video camera to start recording. The video showed him making his way throughout his house, all while he breathed heavily, clearly frightened by something. Let's take a look at the footage and see what happened. As the man walked around his house, the lights inside could be seen flickering on and off. He then walked into a room, and it was there where an object began to move all by itself, on a desk, before a pile of objects crashed to the floor behind him. The man can then be heard panicking before the video abruptly ends, leaving us all to wonder what exactly happened next. Sadly, no updates were ever posted to the man's channel, but it is worth mentioning that he still posts videos, with one even being uploaded just last year, so he's clearly okay. Uploaded on May 27th, 2022 in South Carolina, this video has been making rounds on the internet lately. According to the man who uploaded it, he was going out to the lake at 11 at night, and as soon as he stepped out of the house, he heard something weird.
I hope you can hear this. It sounds like gorillas fighting in the tree. They're breaking limbs bigger around than me.
It sounded like 2 huge animals fighting, but nothing could be seen. So he walked around to his back patio and shined his bright flashlight into the trees. And this is where it gets creepier.
I've never seen anything like it in my life. This is the second time I've come over here. And the first time when I got up under them trying to figure out what it was.
One after another, branches could be seen breaking and falling to the ground. And these weren't little branches. Those were quite big. And breaking them like that without any equipment was not humanly possible. So the guy knew it was an unusual being doing all this. And surprisingly, the worst was yet to come.
Look, that's bigger than me. Look at that, look at that, look at that, look at that, look at that. What in Jesus' name is doing this? Something, oh my God, oh my God.
Half of the tree just broke down, as if someone or something was tearing it in half. According to the man, as soon as he stopped recording, trying to just get out of the area, the whole tree, which was easily 10 to 12 inches in diameter, fell to the ground. Now, as per the uploader, it was definitely Bigfoot, but who knows what other dark secrets these woods are hiding in the dark. In 2021, a group of friends ventured into the darkness for fun, trying to look for ghosts or anything creepy. But what none of them had expected was that they would actually see what they were looking for. As soon as they got to the deeper parts of the woods, this is what they recorded.
Look at it. He's looking at us. Whoop! It's right there.
Yeah.
You see it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wait, that's not a deer. What the devil is that?
At first, they mistook the creature for a deer, but soon enough, they realized it wasn't a simple deer. It was way creepier than that.
I see you. Those eyes are wide, too. Oh, fuck. All right, let's go.
As soon as the creature started getting closer, they knew it was time to get out, and that's exactly what they did. For many, it was a mountain lion, but others took it for a skinwalker or something else. Nonetheless, the video seems quite disturbing, and so is the experience of witnessing such a thing firsthand. Back in 2018, a woman named Maddie, who kept hearing bizarre animalistic noises from her window, decided to check once and for all what was behind it, or what animal was lurking in her neighborhood. However, what she saw wasn't what she was expecting. Filming as soon as she got out of the house and spun the camera towards the roof, this is what she saw.
Hearing the craziest noises. Listen.
Two glowing eyes could be seen right in front of her on the roof, but then it started moving, and it became clear that it was a whole black creature right on the roof. This, however, made the woman want to go out, but as soon as she reached the door, her dog could be heard in the background.
Ruby. Ruby.
It was almost as if the dog could sense something unusual, but the weirdest part was that when the woman went out to check, she couldn't find anything. But in case you didn't notice, there was a hand right on the wall, which disappeared right after she moved the camera towards it. According to the woman, she was pretty creeped out, not knowing if it was a human or something else, and she could not really see anyone after that. Up next is a video uploaded on March 11, 2025, which shows a little girl recording herself on a camera while playing with her doll. She was just showing her toys to the camera when she noticed something weird happening in the background. This is what happened.
Cositos. Tengo esta tacita, cosita, y esta tacita, como sushi. Huevo, ¿sí?
At first, she seemed to notice that the doll was moving on its own, which startled her a bit, but thinking it was just her imagination, she continued playing until the doll moved again. This time, it scared the little girl so much that she ran away immediately, calling for her mother. The doll, however, remained motionless for the rest of the video. On February 21st, 2025, a picture was uploaded on X by Nature is Brutal. The image features the skeleton of a caribou that appears to have passed away years ago. Nothing remains of it but old, rusted bones. But that's not all, as the story is far more disturbing than it seems. The caribou looked like it had fallen and gotten stuck, and while struggling for its life, it passed away. After seeing the image, people couldn't help but feel sorry for the animal. Poor animal was probably anxious and frightened trying to get out. Not a good way to go. Uploaded on March 13th, 2025, a video shows a man who was apparently working alone in a pool when he felt as if someone was watching him. As he got his camera out to see if he could capture it on record, he saw this. A face appeared from behind one of the walls, looking straight at him. As he kept recording, the man disappeared, only to come back again. Was it a stalker or something else? It remains unknown. since there have been no updates so far. There's a YouTube channel with a bizarre name, Asleep and Awake, and on this channel, there's only one video. It was uploaded on September 19th, 2014, and it's only 10 seconds long. But trust me, those 10 seconds are enough to creep you out. The video shows a girl who looks off. She seems distressed, but that's not even the weird part. Throughout the video, random numbers and letters flash on the screen for just milliseconds. And when people dug into what they meant, things got even stranger. These numbers turned out to be hexadecimal codes. Basically, when you decode them, they form a smiley face and a cryptic message, "You have been broken before." And it gets worse. More codes in binary reveal another eerie message, "We have already used you," and "Smile more. It's inevitable." But the weirdness doesn't stop there. The title of the video, the numbers mean just one word, "See," and the description, even creepier, "She is fine in very capable hands. Be a dear and show her this when she wakes up. We appreciate the help." A lot of people believe this could be connected to a now inactive ARG, or alternate reality game, called Awake. This ARG ran from 2015 to 2016 and had similar cryptic messages, so some think this video might be part of that same universe. The messages in the video suggest control, manipulation, or even past trauma. Either way, this is one of the creepiest, most cryptic videos on YouTube. A Reddit user known as Mandrew338 posted a truly fascinating video on the popular UFO subreddit that has certainly gotten a lot of people talking over the past few months. For context, here's how the story goes. At approximately 4:05 a.m. on January 1st, 2025, a helicopter crew flying northeast from Yuma to downtown Phoenix observed two unidentified aircraft moving northward. The pilot, an experienced former U.S. Army Black Hawk pilot, noted that neither aircraft was visible on their passive radar system that typically detects other aircraft in real time. The aircraft had no visible navigation lights, which was unusual given their direction and the crew's ability to see such lights using night vision goggles and ODS. One aircraft ascended and disappeared, while the other descended and moved away before vanishing shortly after. More unidentified objects appeared, prompting the crew to begin filming. The sighting occurred near restricted military airspace and a nuclear facility, adding to the mystery. While open to rational explanations, the crew remained perplexed by the event, as it differed significantly from anything they had previously encountered. This video was posted by an individual on Facebook who claimed that his friend filmed two creatures resembling Bigfoots in Yellowstone. The video depicts a vast field, and in the distance, there are two black figures in motion. These figures appear to be similar to apes or gorillas crossing the field. However, even from this long distance, their gait and posture appear human-like, and they have substantial sizes. While gorillas can also grow to large sizes, they don't typically reach the same height as these creatures. Additionally, these two beings' full bodies seem to be covered in thick black fur. The identity of these creatures remains uncertain, and whether they are truly Bigfoots or another type of wildlife is a subject of debate. Encountering something unexplained is frightening in itself, but being stalked by an inexplicable entity takes fear to a whole new level. This video was captured by a trail camera, and initially, it appears to show a swamp scene, with a deer passing in front of the camera. Nothing unusual, right? However, if you zoom in on the top right corner of the video, you'll notice something lurking behind the trees. As the deer moves past, this mysterious figure also shifts from its hiding spot. It seems like this stalking creature may have been lying in wait for the deer or was attempting to be stealthy in its pursuit. From the video, the creature appears quite large in size and has a robust body frame. To some, it might resemble a Bigfoot, lurking and possibly hunting for its next meal. Security cameras are typically installed in homes to provide a sense of security and safety, reassuring us that we are protected. However, there are times when these cameras capture something that makes us feel quite the opposite, unsettled and unsafe. This picture was shared on Reddit's Creepy Captures subreddit by a user who recounted a strange incident. The user explained that it was midnight when their door security alarm went off. Naturally, they went to check who might be at the door, but to their surprise, there was no one there. Intrigued and concerned, they decided to review the camera footage, and that's when they came across this eerie figure. The figure in the image looks as though it's right out of a horror movie. It has a Slender Man-like face and an overall creepy appearance. Moreover, it seems to be holding something in its hand, adding to the mystery and unease surrounding it. Whatever this bizarre creature may be, one can only hope it never pays them a visit in person. Driving on a deserted road can indeed be a creepy and eerie experience, and encountering something like a werewolf would be the stuff of nightmares for any driver. In this particular case, the driver was cruising along a quiet road when they suddenly slammed on their brakes after spotting something highly unusual at the roadside. This creature doesn't resemble any familiar species. While some might argue that it has a wolf-like appearance, a closer look reveals some very peculiar traits. Unlike regular wolves, this creature appears to be strolling about on its hind legs, which is quite unusual. Additionally, its arms seem skeletal and lacking flesh. Its ears might resemble those of a dog, but the combination of its arm structure and the way it walks on its hind legs gives it an eerie, almost monstrous quality. The big question here is, what could this creature possibly be? A man was peacefully sleeping when suddenly, his ducks outside started making a ruckus as if they were under attack by some predator. In a hurry, he rushed outside with his camera, hoping to capture whatever was disturbing them. As he pointed his camera towards their shelter, everything seemed normal at first. However, if we rewind the video and slow it down, we can spot an eerie sight. A pair of eerie, lifeless glowing eyes lurking near the duck's house. These mysterious eyes quickly darted out of view when the camera turned their way. In the moment, the man recording the video didn't notice the unsettling eyes, but when he later reviewed the footage, he was shocked by what he saw. Now, he's much more likely to believe his ducks when they start making a commotion again. This hiker found a terrifying thing while going through a remote forest on Vancouver Island. Take a look. The footprint is huge, isn't it? My first idea was that it is from a very large bear, but where are the claw marks? As far as I am aware, a bear footprint would look like this, no? So what exactly did they find?
That's weird, man. One footprint, which looks like it is a footprint here. Wendy spotted this here. So this happened when it was dry or wet.
Just look at the size difference. And am I crazy for saying that you can clearly differentiate toes in this footprint? According to the video source, this video was taken during their hike in a remote forest on Vancouver Island. Vancouver Island has a history of Bigfoot sightings, with reports of eerie encounters, strange footprints, and even alleged trail camera footage capturing mysterious figures. Is what we're seeing in this clip proof of its existence?
I don't know. It's big. Maybe it's a bear. What do you think? Crazy. We're at Avatar Grove here, the far west coast of Vancouver Island. And there's one which looks to be a footprint. I don't know if it is a footprint, but it sure looks like a footprint. Maybe it's a bear, maybe it's not, but there's my foot right there. Those are size 12 boots. So, bigger than mine. It's wide, wider than mine. She says maybe it's a baby Bigfoot. What do you think?
What do you think? Do you agree with the hiker, and honestly, my interpretation as well, that this might be in fact the footprint of a Bigfoot? This man was camping in a forest when he saw someone or something around the trees next to him. Have a look. A couple was on a peaceful drive south in the middle of the night when they spotted something they will never forget. Check it out.
Yeah. That's like right here. Right around this corner, I think. Like right here somewhere. Oh, look, right there, right there. Stop, stop, stop. Back up, back up. It was right there. I just saw it.
It was hard to see, but there was a dark and eerie figure between the trees. It was quick, but undeniably real.
Oh, look, right there, right there. Stop, stop, stop. Back up, back up.
With hearts pounding and fear gripping them, the couple threw their car into reverse, desperate to get a closer look.
It was right there. I just saw it. Gosh. You're like going off the road. Crap, where'd it go? He was huge. I scared him off. Dang. Is that it? Back there? I can't tell, it's too dark.
According to the source of the video, it had been so many years they had driven this very road, passing the same eerie forest, but never had they seen anything like this before, not until that night. Something massive stood between the trees, hidden just beyond the reach of their headlights. I can tell with certainty that it was no animal. It was clearly standing upright on 2 feet, so I am leaning towards an authentic Bigfoot sighting. If you were the one who witnessed that sighting, would you step out or keep driving? Nature is beautiful, but it has a nasty, dangerous side as well. Take a look at the close call this camper had.
Whoever I'm sending this to, I don't know. But I just got back. I was running down this mountain because I encountered a bear in an area I was camping in. And, okay, I can tell right now. Holy shit, my tent is gone. You gotta see this. I'm looking around to see if he's here, but he's not. He and I were staring at each other. Oh shit. All right. Sorry for the language. Or was. He fucked it up. Holy crap. Look at this.
The camper said he ran away, a thing I, in my brief experience with nature, would advise against. Bear can outrun even the fastest human, not to say that you can't outclimb them either. Remember the saying, if it's black, fight back. If it's brown, lie down. If it's white, good night. Meaning that you should fight back against a black bear, try to scare it away. If it is a brown one, lie down and pretend to be dead while covering your vitals. But if it is a white one, there is nothing you can do unprepared. This camper got lucky. The bear was more interested in his tent, and by the looks of it, he got what he was after from that tent. Remember folks, always be careful where you go to camp. Stay safe. This trail camera video is rather fascinating. The video shows two wild piglets suckling on their mother. The mama boar is heard grunting while lying on the ground as the piglets are having a feast. Poor mama boar seems to be really tired, perhaps from caring all day for these little guys. It is a remarkable and a rare footage not many trail camera get to catch. This video is from the western woods of Košice, Slovakia. A hiker set off on a 2-week trip through the expansive woods of Košice, suddenly feeling an eerie presence, as if someone or something was tracking his every step. In the video, we can see the hiker walking through the forest while recording his surroundings. After a while, he encounters a large branch-made structure resembling a wooden hut in the distance. Curious, he approaches the hut and notices signs of habitation, including a roof and an entrance. While recording inside the hut, a strong growling noise comes from outside, causing fear to grip him. He quickly starts running and finds himself in a dense part of the forest. As he walks further, the hiker once again hears the rustling of trees nearby. The hiker directs the camera toward the source of the sound, revealing a tall figure shaking the trees intensely. The being locks eyes with the camera, emitting a terrifying noise. The immense size of the being becomes apparent when compared to the nearby trees. This encounter terrifies the hiker, prompting him to flee. After this horrifying encounter, the hiker promised to never venture into those woods again. Could this be the first genuine sighting of a Bigfoot? Or is it something even more terrifying than that? This video comes from a Facebook user who shared their experience of venturing into an area frequently linked with Bigfoot sightings. The video starts with a view of the deep Canadian woods, accompanied by the heavy breathing of the camera person, indicating their unease. As the camera zooms in on the distant trees, something emerges from the woods, briefly appearing before retreating back into the forest. Let's examine this closely. Upon closer inspection, we can see a large figure with a thick black coat covering its body, while it could be mistaken for a gorilla or an ape. The distinct way it walks on 2 legs and its posture set it apart from the capabilities of such animals. Additionally, the considerable size of its legs and body is different from that of an ape or gorilla. With those options ruled out, we're left to consider it was a Bigfoot. Seeing a Bigfoot is terrifying on its own, but being chased by one, it's a scenario even the bravest souls would rather avoid. This video originates from Nanoin Rivers Park, Canada. Initially, the footage reveals a frozen, snowy river with the forest at its edge. Then, the camera captures some animal droppings, probably from a deer or buck, nothing extraordinary. The man continues his walk, and after a few steps, he spots a lengthy black hair on the ground. Picking it up, he realizes how thick it is. Soon, the man reaches the forest's edge. Venturing into the woods, the man records the environment and the surrounding trees. After a while, distant sounds catch his attention. Panning the camera towards the source, we catch a glimpse of a fur-covered creature walking casually. However, upon noticing the camera, the creature's demeanor shifts from casual to aggressive. It sprints towards the camera, making the cameraman make a quick decision any sensible person would make. He bolts for his life. Watching this, my advice to you is simple. No footage is worth more than your safety. If you ever encounter such a creature, just run. Encountering a real-life mermaid may be the dream of many kids, but the reality might not match expectations. This video captures a mysterious scene on an unidentified shore where scientists covered in protective gear gather around an unknown aquatic creature. Two individuals are also seen standing next to a stretcher. Scientists then carefully lift the creature onto a stretcher, revealing its fish-like tail. However, the atmosphere takes an eerie turn when the scientists move, and we can see the creature's human-like upper body attached to the tail. The being resembles a mermaid, and the scientists transport it away on the stretcher. A number of confusing aspects arise from this scene. Why are scientists wearing such protective suits? Why have they sealed off the area? And why the secrecy surrounding the mermaid-like creature? The questions remain unanswered. This video was recorded by some tourists who went to the woods to get a nice experience of nature and wildlife. However, this man with his camera saw something intriguing there and decided to record it on his camera. At first, nothing weird happened, but after a second, a creature got up from the ground and walked forward. The creature had been sitting on the ground all that time. Therefore, it couldn't be seen on the camera. It then squatted on the ground again. It looked like it was looking for something. The brief moment the creature was a little clearer on the screen, we could see it looked like a huge gorilla, but the way it walked was closer to how a human walks. The video was later given to the authorities, and they checked the whole area for the being, but found nothing. There is always a chance that it was just a gorilla with an extraordinary walk, but it could be Bigfoot too. You never know. This video was recorded in California a couple of years back when a man was driving home and witnessed something out of the ordinary. While the weather looked quite foggy and the view from the car was blurry, one thing that caught the man's attention was a slightly dark figure that appeared in front of the car and then disappeared to one side of the road in a second. Even though it started and ended in mere seconds, the sight was enough to scare the man to his core. He uploaded the video on the internet, where many people were quick to claim that it was a skinwalker right there. However, some people thought it was just his mind playing tricks, or maybe the thick fog that made him think it was a figure, while in reality, there was nothing there. Recorded in a junkyard, this clip captured something that shocked the entire internet when it was uploaded. The man was recording his junkyard, showing different cars in the video, and everything seemed quite normal at first. However, as he moved forward towards another car, a nearby black car started moving on its own. It freaked the man out a bit too, and he moved towards it to see if anyone was inside the car. But as he got closer, he saw that there was nothing inside except spare parts and tires. So how was it moving then? The mystery didn't end here. After a few minutes, the car started moving on its own, freaking the man out a little more. However, he still went to check if anyone was inside this time and found nothing. Not just this, the red cross drawn on the car makes the whole thing even more mysterious. Some people on the internet were sure that it was his son or a little kid pushing the car from behind. However, the man kept claiming that the car moved on its own. This video was recorded by a biker who was riding along on his bike. According to him, he rode through the woods often and had never seen anything weird before. But then one day, he was just going his way when he spotted something strange on the path. He stopped the bike, and that's when we saw a huge creature getting up off the ground and running to hide behind the tall trees and bushes. The few seconds the creature appeared on camera showed us that it had black-colored fur covering its whole body, like what a gorilla or maybe a Bigfoot would have. Because the way it was running away was not how a gorilla would run. Its walk and posture were more like a human. However, it can always be a human because we could only see the creature for a brief moment. Dolls have always been associated with mystery and horror, but not many have believed in these kinds of superstitions. However, there are times when dolls are captured on camera being spooky. Take this clip for instance. It shows a man with a creepy clown doll. He has already set up a camera and places the doll right in front of it on the sofa. The man then proceeds to arrange the doll's posture and everything. He puts the doll's hat on it and then leaves the room. A minute passes without anything happening. But then we see the doll, which was facing downwards, now moving and lifting its head up, staring into the camera for a while, before going back to its initial position. Even though this was all the doll did, it was spooky enough for the man when he saw the recording later. Recorded in 2008, this clip had everyone in shock back then, wondering if it was real or not. The clip shows a weird-shaped object flying in the sky. It had lights around it, and it was flying so close to the ground that even the residents of the area could see it easily. The object flew over the area for a few minutes before disappearing in the sky somewhere. The clip was all over the news with questions asked from the authorities about it. Was it some secret military jet? There were hundreds of questions on every mouth. However, the authorities failed to answer any and just claimed that they have nothing but the video only to say anything more about the strange object. Humans aren't always on the bad side. There are times when we see humanity come to life as well. For instance, in this clip, we see a bunch of humans who spotted a moose stuck under a pile of wood logs they had left after work. So, they decided to help out the moose and let it go free. They brought a crane in and tried lifting a wood log, but then they noticed that removing only one log wasn't enough for the moose. They had to get all the logs out of the way as the moose's leg was stuck quite deep under there. Even after removing all the logs, they had to help the moose get out of the spot too, so it could run off to the woods all free and happy. Where trail cameras are set to capture the wildlife in its natural habitat and get a close view of nature, there are times trail cameras capture things that have the ability to shock anyone who sees it. This trail camera captured one such thing in this clip, late at night, where there was no animal in sight. A weird figure appeared from the left side and moved towards the right before disappearing out of sight. The figure looked more like a whitish shadow just floating around. The video was uploaded on the internet and gained mixed reactions from the viewers. To some, it was just something in the dust or maybe an insect. However, to others, it was a ghost wandering in the forest at night. The mystery, however, still remains with no logical explanation ever given. A YouTuber named Tim was out with his friends on a hunting trip when they stumbled upon something unusual. At first, the video appears quite normal, with deer grazing around and everything. However, as the man focuses on the sky trying to record the whole scene, he sees a weird object flying there. At first, he thought it was a balloon, but the speed with which the object was moving and in one specific direction, it was almost impossible for a balloon to do that. But then what was it? Was it a mysterious military drone, or was it some otherworldly thing? With just a video as evidence, nothing could be said. However, the video caused a lot of controversy on the internet for sure. A short video with just one thing in focus, a creepy goat standing on its back legs staring into the void. The goat looked like it was a young one and had huge black eyes, which did not look like the eyes of a normal goat. The whole time the man was recording it, the animal did not move at all and kept in the exact same position. According to the man, he had never seen this goat near his house before. It came by just one night and was never seen again after that. The man said he was freaked out at first, but seeing it was just a goat, he went near it and recorded it. The animal never harmed anyone or made any noise. It just disappeared without anyone knowing, making the whole situation even more mysterious. Gone are the days when we used to think that bats only come out at night and sleep during the days, because this bat just totally did not follow the norm. As these guys were camping in the middle of the woods, they thought it would be nice to have a jam session right there. However, things quickly took a Disney turn when a bat came flying and tried cuddling with the man playing the guitar. Freaked out, he hurriedly pushed it away, making the bat eventually go back to where it came from. On a serious note, this is what happens when you mess with the natural habitat of animals. Not used to humans, the bat must have been freaked out due to all the noise, as they are pretty sensitive to sounds. And this is why all this happened. The most unsettling experiences often arise from encounters with the unknown, which defy our comprehension. This video, originating from Russia, captures an enigmatic creature sprinting in the distance. Upon initial observation, it may appear to be a human running. However, upon closer inspection, its posture and movements deviate slightly from those of a typical human. What makes this sighting even more confusing is that, after taking a few steps, this entity abruptly disappears into thin air, vanishing in the blink of an eye. Its eyes emit an eerie glowing light, and there's a brief, luminous trail left ahead. As it dashes away, this creature is an enigma, possessing a humanoid form, extraordinary luminous abilities, and an uncanny ability to vanish like a spirit. This video is sourced from a security camera, and the homeowner is reviewing it due to a recent robbery in which his bag was stolen from his car. As we watch the video, we observe a house situated across the street. Suddenly, a bright light materializes in front of the main door of the neighboring house. After some time, a shadowy figure emerges on the sidewalk across the street, and then we see a person coming from the right side of the frame. This person proceeds to the car, discovers a bag inside, and then swiftly begins to run away with it. However, as the thief starts his escape, the enigmatic shadowy figure from across the street leaps into action, chasing after the criminal. It's as though this spectral hero had been waiting for the thief and decided to take matters into their own ethereal hands. If only every ghost could transform into such vigilant protectors, there might be no more burglaries or robberies. Some people believe in the existence of aliens, and after watching this video, I'm starting to wonder the same. In this recording made by a forest ranger, we can see what appears to be an alien-like head peering out from behind a tree. This head is quite small and seems to possess a blend of alien and human characteristics. Initially, the ranger dismissed it, thinking it was a trick of the light or his imagination playing tricks on him. However, as time passed, this mysterious creature moved its head slightly, convincing the ranger that it was not something familiar or easily explainable. This sighting left the forest ranger feeling either genuinely frightened or simply curious about the unusual being he had encountered, prompting him to quickly leave the forest. Getting a close-up view of an unknown creature is a rare occurrence, but thanks to a Reddit user, we now have a remarkable close-up glimpse of these enormous beings. In a video captured by a hiker, we can clearly observe a massive creature walking in front of the hiker by the trees. This creature possesses extraordinarily long arms and legs. It appears to use its hands to touch the ground and assist in its movement. What's particularly fascinating is the unusual shape of its hands, unlike anything seen in known creatures. Moreover, the creature's towering height and large body suggest that it might be around 9 to 10 feet tall. Many speculate that this could be a new species of Bigfoot. What are your thoughts on this intriguing discovery? This video comes from Spain, depicting a desolate location. In the distance, there's a hunched figure that initially appears to be a naked human. However, the way this figure is hunched over is truly unsettling. As the camera person continues to record and speak, the hunched figure seems to hear them. It suddenly stands up and begins chasing the camera person, who starts running, and the video ends. Some viewers of this video speculate that this might be the rake, as its naked appearance and hunched back align with the descriptions of the rake. Another possibility is that it could be an individual struggling with drug addiction, exhibiting erratic behavior. Regardless of its identity, it was undoubtedly a frightening and disturbing encounter. Trail cameras are truly fascinating because they sometimes capture strange and intriguing scenes in the wild. In a trail cam video shared by a TikToker, we see something quite remarkable yet very puzzling. The video begins by showing us a densely wooded forest, and after a few frames, we catch a glimpse of a dark figure within those woods. We only see this figure for a brief moment, but by analyzing those frames, we can make out that it resembles a creature like an ape, gorilla, or even a monkey. However, some viewers who watched the video were convinced that this might be the legendary Bigfoot, mainly due to the posture in which it was standing. It's worth noting that gorillas typically have relatively short necks, and their heads are directly connected to their shoulders without a distinct long neck. But this creature seems to have a bit of a neck. So, what are your thoughts on this? Was it a primate? Or could it possibly have been the legendary Bigfoot? This video originates from Canada, where an oil field worker captured something eerie and unsettling while working in the woods. The video begins with a snowy landscape and a forest in the distance. As the vehicle, which is recording the video, moves forward, it captures footage of the woods ahead. Upon closer examination of the slowed down video, we can observe a remarkably large and massive creature with black fur lurking in the woods. This creature is significantly larger than the surrounding trees, and its body appears exceptionally strong. What makes this sighting even more unsettling is the mystery surrounding its presence. Why is this creature lurking there? What are its intentions? Is it merely curious about the vehicle, or could it be harboring more sinister or creepy motives? Security guards are responsible for our protection, usually dealing with intruders, thieves, and burglars. But what happens when they encounter something unknown? In this video, we get a view of a hallway, and the person recording it is the security guard. He's on night duty at this facility and heard tapping noises coming from the storage room. Curiosity leads him to investigate the source of these strange sounds. We can clearly hear the tapping noises as he walks down the hallway. The guard stumbles upon an open storeroom door, and this discovery startles him. He cautiously opens the door and enters. Inside, a mannequin mysteriously drops on its own. A few moments later, a glass slab falls to the ground, adding to the eerie atmosphere. If that isn't scary enough, the sound of a little girl crying suddenly fills the room.
What the fuck? Whoa.
Hello? Who's there?
The guard, concerned and brave, ventures deeper into the room to check the source of the crying. But as he inquires about who is making the noise, the voice suddenly takes on a demonic tone.
Hello? Who's there? Hello?
It seems as though a demon is now screeching. Terrified, the guard makes a run for it, and the video abruptly ends. This encounter was truly unsettling, and we can only hope that the guard is okay, as we didn't see the conclusion of this eerie incident. In this video, we are presented with a view of a backyard during the late evening, with very little light available. The forest in front of us is mostly engulfed in darkness. After a while, something unusual catches our attention in the distance. In fact, it's not just one thing, but multiple entities moving in the distance. All of these entities appear to be transparent, taking on a human-like shape, and they seem to hover above the ground. These spirit-like beings move slowly, almost as if they are casually wandering around together as a group. Now, one might think that this could be smoke from a nearby campfire. However, if it were smoke, there should be some wind to carry it, right? But when we look at the surrounding trees and notice that their leaves are still, it becomes evident that there is no wind. So, the question remains, what could these entities be? This video was recorded by a man who was in the process of moving out of his house and packing up his belongings. However, something very strange and unsettling was happening in his house. In the video, he shows himself playing video games and reveals his living room filled with packing boxes. Then, he points the camera toward the kitchen cabinets. Suddenly, one of the cabinet doors swings open wide, all on its own. There's no one nearby and no strings or wires involved. This strange phenomenon happened multiple times before, and the man can now predict which cabinet the ghost will target. But it's not just the kitchen cabinets. The man also experiences strange occurrences with his doors. In another clip, as he's engrossed in playing video games, his room door opens by itself. He shows the room, confirming that it's empty with no one inside. Towards the end of the video, as he returns to the kitchen, his chair also moves without anyone touching it. It's evident that he's dealing with a mischievous ghost in his house, and it's no wonder he's decided to move out. Just like the uncharted depths of the oceans, there are parts of our forests that remain unexplored, concealing potentially strange and fascinating creatures unknown to us. In this video, we are presented with an unsettling sight of a peculiar creature lurking near a house's fences. This creature's face doesn't resemble any typical forest-dwelling creature we're familiar with. It has a demonic appearance, with deep, sinister eyes and a hunched back that adds to its eerie demeanor. The creature is crouched near the house's fence, seemingly observing and curious about what it might find. After a while of lurking, it becomes aware of the camera's presence, and as it notices the camera, it swiftly runs away. Judging by its looks and features, some might speculate that this creature could be a dogman, as they are known for their mix of dog and wolf-like facial features. The chupacabra is a legendary creature known for its alleged attacks on livestock, particularly goats, and sometimes even humans, when it's desperate. In this video, we are presented with a creature by the roadside, and at first glance, we might mistake the creature for a dog. However, upon closer examination, it becomes evident that it strongly resembles a chupacabra. This creature is devoid of hair and possesses a long, slender body with distinctive and sharp facial features, closely aligning with the typical description. In the video, we witness this feeding on livestock, presumably obtained from a nearby farm. Its sole focus seems to be satisfying its hunger, paying little attention to the person recording it. While some might speculate it could be a dog with a rare genetic mutation, we cannot say for certain. Some researchers had set up cameras all over an area where they were trying to study buffaloes and their behavior. However, what they did not know was that they were about to witness something they had never even thought of. A few seconds into the clip, we see a group of scary creatures wandering behind the buffaloes. As soon as the figures were about to become clear on the camera, the video ended abruptly. Through the little part of the clip where we can see the creatures, it shows us that the creatures were huge and had bodies covered with dark fur-like skin. Though questions arose when the video ended abruptly, there was no reason for it to end like that. Is it that the authorities are actually trying to keep something hidden from us? Or was it all just a mere coincidence? The mystery remains unsolved. This shocking video was recorded on a Ring camera. As the video starts, we can hear the dog barking at something. However, nothing can be seen anywhere. It isn't until the camera zooms into the scene that we see a ghostly figure appearing from one side and disappearing towards the other. The dog kept barking until the ghost completely disappeared. Was it really a ghost, or was it just some defect with the camera? These kinds of questions arise when the video was uploaded on YouTube by the camera owner. There were a lot of people who actually believed the video was legit, and that it was a ghost that the camera captured. To be honest, it did not look like a clip someone had tampered with, so there is a big chance that it is actually real. When a man was out with his friends in the forest and heard some creepy noises nearby. Intrigued, he went to check on what it was and then ended up recording this clip. Even though a little blurry and low in quality, we can clearly see a spooky creature jumping around in the forest. The actions look like what a monkey would do. However, the size said something else. Many people believed it to be strong evidence of Bigfoot's existence. However, others disregarded it, saying that it is just a gorilla slightly larger than others. Honestly, if you look closer, it does look like a gorilla because of the way it is hopping around. But Bigfoots are quite close to gorillas, so we can never be sure. While the world was busy with Zoom meetings during the pandemic in 2020, there are things that happened in online meetings that were enough to make anyone scared. Take this clip, for instance. A girl was on a Zoom meeting with her friends when she kept feeling something odd about the Pinocchio doll she had set up on a shelf behind her. She kept looking back at the doll again and again, sensing some bad energy from it. And after a few seconds, she looked back again, and the doll fell from the shelf, hitting her face, shocking her. Even her friends who were in the meeting with her could not believe what had just happened. When the video was uploaded on Facebook, everyone was not just concerned but scared too. Everyone has dolls in their homes, and considering these videos, you might never know when they will start acting this creepy. Some people have a strong belief in real-life superheroes with extraordinary abilities like those seen in movies. In a mysterious video captured by a traffic camera, such a perplexing scene unfolds. Initially, the road appears completely empty, and then suddenly, seemingly out of nowhere, a woman mysteriously appears. She's carrying heavy bags, and her manner of walking suggests she's older. So it's puzzling how she could have moved so quickly that even the camera didn't capture her arrival. Some individuals think that there might have been a malfunction with the camera, causing it to momentarily stop and then resume when the lady was already at that point. This explanation could be plausible, especially if there's no visible timestamp in the video. However, if it isn't a technical glitch, it would indeed be fascinating to consider the possibility of humans having teleportation power. This video is really unsettling and looks like something straight out of a nightmare. It was posted on a paranormal encounter subreddit by a user who claims to have recorded a real encounter with a demon. The video begins with the camera focused on a house window in front of the person recording. In the window, we can see two glowing eyes staring directly back at the camera from a distance. This creature, or demon, had an unholy gaze and remains completely still. As the camera zooms in, we notice more eerie details, such as the creature being entirely pitch black, even though there is light around it. It reflects no light whatsoever. Additionally, as the video zooms closer, we can see horns on the demon's head. After a while, the creature moves away. Suddenly, as it goes out of sight, there's a loud and rapid banging on the door, and the video ends. What happened after that door banging is still unknown and adds to the mystery. In February 2025, video started gaining attention online. Not much is known about the uploader or their intentions, but the footage has spooked a lot of people, gaining millions of views. The camera footage shows a baby waking up in the middle of the night after his pacifier suddenly falls off. As he starts crying and searching for it, something truly creepy happens. A shadowy figure with glowing eyes mysteriously appears, picks up the pacifier, and hands it back to the baby, actually placing it into his mouth, before vanishing once again. Many have debated what this could be. Some speculate that it might just be the baby's mother trying to stay unnoticed, while others believe something much stranger is at play. What do you think? On the 22nd of February, 2025, a man on Reddit uploaded a video. According to him, the video was recorded back in 2017, when he and his friend drove to the land of 100 giants. On the way, they made a stop, and while enjoying the beauty of nature, he recorded some short videos and a couple of photos. Everything was normal until later that same day when he sat down to check the pictures he had taken. One short video caught his attention. This is what he saw. While the rest of the video is just random rocks, water, and trees, the first few seconds are worth noticing, because what appears to be a huge, hairy figure is seen sitting by the riverside. According to the uploader, he even noticed something moving. If you look carefully, there is some movement. It looks like something is moving behind it on the left. If it really was a 9-foot Bigfoot sitting right there, the man was quite lucky to make it out in one piece. A man named Leighton on TikTok started uploading videos in 2023, mostly about his neighbor, who had gone missing for days. Concerned, he began sharing updates on TikTok.
I'm going back to my neighbours now to look for a phone book. I have rang 101. They told me the police cannot do anything until tomorrow, when it's been 24 hours.
His neighbor never returned. However, days after her disappearance, he started noticing strange things happening in his house.
I'm going out soon, so I'm going to check if that weird banging... What? Yo, what the fuck, guys? The fucking lights, come on. If anybody thinks someone's in it, what the fuck was that? I don't believe in ghosts, guys, but this is fucking weird. The lights just come on.
At first, it was just some unusual banging noises, and the lights would turn on and off by themselves. Leighton, however, didn't take it seriously, unaware that things were only going to get worse. The next day, while trying to record the strange occurrences, he captured something terrifying.
Banging has started again, guys. Ooh, switch as well. Light's gone off again. Someone said it might be the trip, but obviously the hallway light would go off as well. So I'm not really convinced, to be honest. Not convinced at all. Banging stops. Light's gone off. Now the fucking think so? Jesus fucking Christ.
In both instances, he proved that no one else was in the room or hallway. So, who or what was behind all of this? Leighton himself had no answers, yet he chose to live with it, since whatever the entity was, it didn't seem to pose any direct threat. For a while, all he experienced were banging noises, blinds moving, and doors closing on their own. But on September 2nd, 2024, something terrifying happened.
Do it one more fucking time, I fucking dare you, bastard, right? The plant's going over the fucking balcony.
While moving a plant, Leighton suddenly felt as if something was attacking him. He even struggled to breathe. Skeptical viewers urged him to spread flour on the floor to see if anyone was truly there. So he did. And this is what happened.
Right, can't do much better than that, guys. That's all the door. Right, to explain this one, people have been saying there's green suits involved and things like that, so I put flour down. Then put flour on that door handle.
For now, Leighton continues to live with whatever is haunting him, and the activity only seems to be getting worse.
What the fuck?
As the chairs and table were dragged toward him, Leighton realized things were spiraling out of control. Then, on March 3rd, 2025, he had his most unsettling encounter yet.
Something's stuck.
And with each passing day, the disturbances in his home only grow more intense. This clip was uploaded on February 13th, 2025 by a user named ScrewHTX. He has previously uploaded a couple of videos about strange phenomena happening in Mexico, but nothing gained as much attention as his latest video. The video features someone holding a camera, trying to zoom in on a tree. However, it takes a couple of seconds to see what the man was trying to capture. A woman-like figure appears behind the tree on top of something. She must be standing on a tall building or a tree. For the rest of the clip, she just stands there, moving around. According to the text in the video, the woman is being called a witch, which many believed, while others remained skeptical. Yama-Q is a guy living in Japan who records weird stuff happening around him. Sometimes, he talks to people who can see ghosts, and other times he keeps hearing strange noises. Now, mostly, it's just the usual scary stuff, nothing too dangerous. But on November 13th, 2021, something happened at 11 p.m. that shocked and terrified not just Yama-Q, but thousands of people as well. The video starts off with him taking the camera toward his window, from which scary noises can be heard. Not knowing what else to do, Yama quickly turns toward the boiling water he had on his stove and walks out of his house, only to do the scariest thing imaginable. It already sounded like someone was wailing in pain, but as the hot water hit whatever entity was there, the wails turned into screams that could pierce one's heart. Yama, however, seemed quite used to whatever it was, since he casually just stood on the road looking to see if he could catch it on camera. The video lasted for minutes, but not a single sound was ever heard after that. There was complete silence. Many viewers worried about Yama since they thought that whatever that entity was might come back, but no update on the situation has ever been given. For those who are unaware, Randonautica is an app created by Auburn Salcido and Joshua Langfelder in February 2020. The app randomly generates coordinates, allowing users to explore their local area and report their findings. As you can probably expect, sometimes these findings are less than normal. Sometimes they can be downright terrifying, such is the case in this video. This TikTok follows a woman named Marie and her friend as they follow the coordinates given by the app. However, when they arrive, they are absolutely shocked to see this.
Why do we just go to this fucking quantum point and this whole fucking person is sky? Oh my fucking god, bitch, I can't. What if the person shows up in my rear view camera? No, bitch,
At first, only one person is visible, but near the end, one or two others seem to be walking toward them as well.
Oh my...
Not only is this video incredibly creepy, but it also shows how sometimes certain apps are best left untouched. Do you think these strangers were up to no good, or were they just friendly people, out for a late night walk? Either way, let's just hope Marie is okay, and will be more careful next time. In July 2023, a woman named Aisha was going home when she noticed someone nearby. Not paying much attention, she kept walking. However, soon enough, it was quite clear that the man was a creep and was about to do something horrible. The homeless man chased after her, and she began running. Eventually, he caught up with her and cycled his bike into her body. But before he could go any further, the man from the house where this was happening opened the door and let her in. However, things don't just stop after that. At this point, it wasn't just about getting to the woman. He knew he had messed up as he could see the camera. So, the next blow went straight toward that. Thankfully, he was later caught by the cops, and he gave no explanation for his actions and pleaded guilty to assault occasioning actual bodily harm, assault occasioning actual bodily harm, and 2 counts of criminal damage. On February 22nd, 2025, a Reddit user, chosen12803, posted a video about a strange experience his sister had while visiting a hospital in Panama back in 2020. She was at the hospital to visit her father. Now, this was during the peak of the virus, so hospital hallways were cleared out of all but close family members and essential personnel. However, the woman says that even though she was all alone in the hospital hall, she kept feeling very odd, almost as if someone was watching her. Then she spotted something very creepy at the end of the hallway. Some strange white figure seems to be peeking out at her from the end of the hallway. As she heads right toward the bizarre peeking shape, she checks the spot but finds nothing. There's nothing there, just an empty hall and some medical equipment. But without knowing, her camera did pick up a strange, unexplained moan. It almost sounds like a child, but she still can't shake that creepy feeling. And this wasn't it. Because up next, she felt something way too close to her this time. She films herself as something seems to move her hair around. Now, her hair moves a bit. And it wasn't just the hair. In the background of this very clip, something is seen moving in the hallway again, in the exact spot where there was absolutely nothing when she checked. Brookie Space is a TikTok account created by a couple of friends wanting to upload videos of themselves having fun. However, on April 12th, 2024, they encountered something they never thought they would. They had decided to race the elevator to the floor below. They pressed the buttons, put the phone inside, and ran to get to the floor quicker. The women got stuck on the stairs or something. But what's weird is that the elevator was completely stuck on the same floor as well. The door kept opening and closing without any apparent cause. For a minute straight, the elevator was stuck at the same level while the door kept doing this weird opening and closing thing, and things got even worse when a weird sound was heard, while there was literally no one around the elevator. Since then, the video has gained millions of views, but people still have more questions than answers. What do you think this could be? Why exactly was the elevator door opening and closing on its own? And what was the sound? The mystery remains unsolved. This short video was uploaded on Reddit on February 25th, 2025, with the uploader seeking answers, wondering if anyone could guess what was happening in the creepy video he had just seen. Apparently, this clip was uploaded to YouTube back in 2017, but did not get much attention until now. Here's what happens in the video. In case you didn't notice, while the girls were dancing, focused on their own thing, a black shadow appears in the background for hardly a second. The speed of its movement makes it almost inhuman, leaving people wondering what it could really be. Not much is known about the uploader, but the video still seems to be disturbing to many. A family named Watson moved into a 121-year-old Victorian house, thinking it would be something exciting and fun. However, just days after moving in, they realized it was far from fun and adventurous. At first, the woman started noticing the weird architecture, like how the pillars were built to align with the moon shining directly in the middle. At first, she brushed it off as just something the owner wanted. She didn't pay much attention to what the house was trying to tell her. Soon enough, however, the signs became obvious, as the very next morning, she started hearing some weird sounds.
What's right here?
Above here, stairs.
Weird sounds kept coming from above the roof, and according to the woman herself, it felt like they were coming from within the walls. However, most people just told her it could be squirrels or something. But then, just a couple of days later, she uploaded this video.
We update on the haunted house situation, whether that is squirrels, ghosts, raccoons, whatever. We had families start coming in yesterday. Our lower floor smells like death. We opened up the fireplace that we had capped and there was nothing in there.
According to her, she had checked everywhere, but nothing was there to cause the smell. Still, somehow, the whole house smelled weird, and that very night, she saw this on the camera installed in her kid's room.
What is that?
Loud screeching noises were heard, but it was clear that there was nothing visible on the screen causing them. The woman believes the house is haunted. However, there is still a big chance that it could just be a wild animal on the loose inside the house. It's shocking how they still haven't caught it yet. I don't understand why adventure enthusiasts enjoy exploring forests late at night. This video is from such adventure seekers who are exploring a forest with flashlights. While they search for something interesting at night, they come across an abandoned sewage hole up ahead. They shine their flashlights towards the hole, revealing something strange and creepy in the distance. Hunched over in front of the metal blockage, this odd creature moves slowly, and after spotting the camera, it attempts to walk towards it. Adding to the mystery, there's a black cat just sitting and observing this creature's actions. When we get a close-up view of the creature, it appears to have a humanoid body shape, but its appearance is quite unusual. Seeing this strange being approach them, the explorers quickly flee from the scene. The creature's slow movements make it resemble a cryptid zombie. However, whatever it is, I'm truly impressed by the bravery of that cat. This next video involves a place we would expect to be haunted, a castle. Every castle has its own dark story, and maybe this too, one which lives to this day. This is a drone footage of an English castle, and at first it appears to be a normal recording of a castle. But things get weird the more and closer you look. As seen in the video, a translucent figure seems to be walking in the cabin camera fault, as we clearly see its shape and form, which resembles a human ghost. Castles are known to be a breeding ground for hauntings due to their frequently bloody past, so a sight like this is no wonder. Could this be evidence that we leave together with ghosts, in the same space, but we just can't notice? And what could their intentions be? Share your thoughts in the comments section below. Prepare to be terrified by this eerie video that defies explanation. A beekeeper was checking on his bees when spotted a perplexing sight. A goat-like creature emerges slowly from dense vegetation. The physique of this animal is peculiar as it has strange curled horns. As he looks closer, the observer is struck by a chilling realization. This is no ordinary animal and is not probably a goat. Every quiver of its head, every slight change of its body contributes to the unsettling mood. This could probably be some kind of prank, or eerily, maybe a creature of the unknown. In this video, a man is recording a bright light in the night sky, but it's not just the light. Around it, in the shape of a triangle, 3 lights seem to turn on and off periodically, as if following a pattern. Even due to the darkness, the lights can be seen in the sky. It seems to be something suspended in the air. Could this maybe be a UFO? It's interesting to note that there have been numerous reports of sightings in recent years. In fact, a new declassified US government report on UFO sightings has revealed hundreds of new cases. The US National Intelligence Office is now aware of 510 reported sightings. While many of these sightings can be attributed to human origins, more than 100 of the encounters remain unexplained. Could this one be yet another one that needs our attention? A video taken by a Mexican woman in an unnamed cemetery in Brazil has gone viral, featuring a terrifying vampire baby doll that appears to follow you with its eyes. The doll, which is dressed in all white and had a bottle of what looks like blood next to it, has racked up hundreds of thousands of views online and has even appeared in Mexican media. People are likening it to the demon doll Chucky from Child's Play, but many feel that this doll is even scarier. Some are saying that the doll must be possessed by the devil, while others believe it to be an advanced-made doll. However, the video is so unnerving that many viewers are left unsure of what to believe. One thing is for sure, this creepy vampire doll has captured the attention of people all over the world. This guy was exploring an abandoned building at night when he has a very scary encounter. As he was approaching one room, he became hesitant for a moment before opening the door. The doors creaked open, revealing a small, cramped space. In the corner, huddled and naked, was a creature that looked like a man. Its appearance was just wild, and its skin was pale and clammy. He turned and ran, his heart pounding in his chest. To me, I think this could be the infamous skinwalker that always appears rather naked. Could it have also been some person in distress, needing assistance? What do you think? The action in this clip is short but rather fascinating. It's filmed at night, so you have to concentrate to catch what is going on. You can see the bobcat sneaking up on the unsuspecting coyote and then crouches in the long grass. Only its shining eyes are visible. The coyote trots into the field, completely oblivious to the waiting feline. When the bobcat strikes, it launches itself at the coyote, who lets out an unworldly scream. The coyote leaves pretty quickly and can be seen farther in the field, as if it is trying to comprehend what had happened. We've heard of many Bigfoot sightings with towering figures, but have you ever seen something as tall as a house? This video comes from Finland, and it shows a view of a house's front yard. Suddenly, a massive skeleton-like figure passes through the frame. This creature or figure is incredibly huge, and most of its body seems to be made up of its long legs. It's also slightly bent over and moving quite quickly. This towering figure is climbing up the slope in front of the house. What exactly was this enormous figure? What were its intentions? And why was it going up the hill? There are so many questions surrounding this mysterious sighting. This video is from India, and it shows a busy road. At first glance, everything seems normal as cars pass by. However, if you look closely at the end of the road, you'll spot an unknown creature lurking there. This creature can only be seen when a car passes by and shines its headlights on it. The creature has a humanoid body shape, but it appears very skinny, almost like a rake. The way it lurks there and watches the passing cars can be quite unsettling. Locals in the area have reported seeing this creature around their crops and farms. There have even been stories of it attacking their livestock at night. As for what this creature might be, some speculate it could be a skinwalker or perhaps a rake. It certainly remains a mysterious and eerie presence. For more interesting footage, check this out.